Hey guys, I keep hearing about people saying AI is going to change and revolutionize education. And I want to talk about it for 2 minutes. Now, education is a subject often confused with learning. They are completely related, but revolutionize learning is completely different from revolutionize education. Hang on with me for a second. Someone going through education as a system was built essentially to supply skilled workforce to industries. This was the reason education establishments and institutions were set up long time back. What does that mean? That means right from year 6, year 7, you are entering schools because when you turn 16, 17, 18, you want to get out with some basic literacy, some basic understanding about science, math, so that you can then enter much more focused skills which are valuable to industry. Now, if AI is going to change how industry uses humans, or maybe their lack of dependency on humans, that completely puts in question whether education is needed at all. But this is a distant future. Standing today, when people talk about AI replacing education, they usually talk about changes in learning. Because of all the tools that are available, it will be really easy for whoever has any interest in learning something. They will be able to get those answers and learn those subjects really fast, really well. That means that the change in the pace of learning will just go exponential. But will it really replace education? Think about it. Education is a problem where you have to get a large bunch of people get through learning which they might not be interested in. If you take a class of 30 people or 15 people or 60 people, not everyone is interested in the same subject, in the same lesson, every day, at the same time. And this is a big problem that education often faces. Let's say when you are 6, when you are 7, when you are 5, 4, whatever, when you are learning timetables, everyone is interested in learning timetables. Some people are interested in exploring writing, or maybe reading, or maybe just playing around, exploring their physicality somehow. Now, when this happens, education essentially narrows down the learning curriculum to a single topic in a single classroom, so that everyone has to somehow align with whatever teachers are presenting at that time. But this is hard, and this is also needed because it's you are trying to get people to learn new concepts, even if they don't, even if they are not interested. It's good to know. It's important for them to know the fundamentals, right? I might not be good at chemistry, but I still need to understand some fundamentals of chemistry, so that when I go into engineering, or maybe mechanical engineering or computer engineering, when it comes down to understanding some first principles, I need to have some base of chemistry which will help me understand maybe some peripheral concepts around it, right? But not like if I were to start from scratch, I would never be interested in chemistry. Chemistry is an important concept for me to understand that bigger application, where chemistry is probably one of the solutions somewhere. Maybe in this case, I'm talking about engineering specifically. Now, some people might be naturally interested in chemistry, but not interested in physics at all. And this happens a lot. And this is exactly why education is a hard problem. I think the problem of education is a compulsory learning system which ensures that a minimum standard of skill is guaranteed. This is very different from free-form learning, which AI is going to completely revolutionize. Now, of course, education will be slightly better than what it is, because there will be new tools which will aid learning, but it is not going to revolutionize. Last 50 years, every new, technology, call it multimedia, internet, fast computers, all of them have claimed that it will revolutionize education. Open source courses, everyone claimed that education would be revolutionized, but it didn't, because inherently the problem is about enforcing a certain learning curriculum on people, even if they might not be interested. And that structure itself makes sure that it's a hard problem to solve. Now, when you talk about bigger picture, yes, do we really need to solve that problem at all? Like, if AI is going to do all the work, and if humans are not required at all, that puts in question whether learning and education will be required at all. If industries don't hire people, if there are no jobs, then the society will have to be, that will put the whole of economics in question. Why? Because if industries are not producing jobs, that means people are not working to earn money so that they can buy goods for themselves. That means government will somehow need to interfere by providing all these resources like food, shelter, clothing to people, because there are no avenues to earn money and buy these resources for themselves. So whenever this happens in the future, I don't know whether it will happen or not, because I think it's such a complex problem. But if it does, then certainly education and the system of education will have to be questioned. As it happens that any old institution or legacy systems generally don't change for a long time, and maybe for many years people will carry on learning the same things without even realizing that maybe it's not needed. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think in extremes sometimes. So I go back, maybe 10, 20, 50,000 years back, when there was probably not even agriculture. People used to live in tribes. The only problem they had was hunting, gathering, and staying safe from danger. And the rest of the other time was basically just filled up with fun, with in their own tribes. Maybe entertainment, maybe just chilling out and talking about things, maybe mates just going out, to hunt and then just having a good time. Also, it was difficult and much harder life than now, but maybe community-wise, it was much fun to live. I don't know. I'm completely speculating here, so I'm pretty sure I'm out of my depth talking about it and thinking about it. But I think it's a good problem to think about. Why? Because if the problem of labor is solved by AI, that means to produce goods, you don't need manual labor. That means that you'll get to a point where you can produce goods, almost with really constant supply of resources. That means scale comes at really easy cost. That means you don't need, if you want to scale production of something, you don't need people to be part of it. Now this, I think I'll let some economists comment on it and how it's actually going to work out. But all that, education, industry, economics, markets, all those systems are linked with each other. And AI is one such force. It is kind of put a spanner in the wheel. And again, my channel's name is AI Monger, so I'm not trying to create any fearful picture out there. I'm sure systems balance itself out usually. That means that if we ever get to a point where you can literally, all jobs can be done by AI and you don't need any humans at all, of course all the governments in the world will have to think about how this problem will be solved. So you won't reach to a point where suddenly there are no jobs at all. Certainly governments will need to interfere and start, maybe have some kind of universal basic income, so that all these goods that are produced by the industries are then can be bought back by people. And then again, coming back to my original talk, which is education will be in question, learning may not be. Learning is very self-initiated. Today I want to learn playing flute, tomorrow I want to learn drawing, third day I want to just understand how, I don't know, how machines work, just because I'm interested in it. So it's completely random, and it is very interest driven, which is very different from education. That's the only point I was trying to make. And that's it for now. I'll let you go and have fun. Bye bye.